Jujutsu Kaisen really just has not been the same ever since that Gojo chapter a few weeks back, to the memes that has spawned from it with people, putting different characters on top of Gojo, to the memes that has come from the latest episode of the anime, to also finding out more about the production and animators, very iconic and big veterans within the industry speaking out about production, to just everything else in between. It has been a very interesting time to be a Jujutsu Kaisen fan. And I think that, if there is one thing positive out of all of this, if we disregard the negative, context of the production and stuff, and I'll talk about this in a second, I think that Jujutsu Kaisen really has exploded even more so in popularity as of late. Everybody's talking about it, even those that are not Jujutsu Kaisen fans are talking about it. People are memeing on it, and not in a bad way, so to speak. They're jumping into the memes. Like, you have this moment here with Sukuna from the latest episode, of Jujutsu Kaisen that just aired this past week, and you see how, Sukuna was turned into Saitama, and then you have, oh, hey, Casca, and then you have, Boros here that is, also here, which is supposed to be, Jogo. I really just like what they've been doing, like all these different memes that have been coming out. I mean, you have fan animations people are making of like Jogo as, Gojo. It's really funny. Like, honestly, it has been an absolutely funny time, like, for memes. Like, I love meme culture. I love getting cursed memes, and there has just been a lot of cursed memes as well that has come out like hell. I'll even show you one that, I posted as of late. You have this meme, which is, obviously supposed to reference, Gojo, but, you have the white rabbit here, which could be from the latest episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, but also you could take this away from, ReZero, which, we already have someone memeing here with a ReZero meme, for instance, showcasing Subaru looking at, the white rabbit. So yeah, you could see there's just been quite a evolution of this meme as of late, and it's been fun. I know a lot of people probably find this annoying because they're seeing it everywhere, but I don't know, that's just how meme culture is, and it's just been very fun. I love seeing like a surge of memes from an anime and spread out into a widespread audience, and everybody that's not even, let's say, an anime fan now knows about it. It's pretty funny. But anyways, with all that said, we do need to talk about the darker aspects of everything, and that's one of the reasons why I even decided to make this video, is the current state of Jujutsu Kaisen, and how the state of it is in a very weird spot. As I've clearly already talked about, brief synopsis of what this video is about with, the memes, to just, like, the community discussion, to the latest, chapters of the manga, to the latest episode, and then even the staff stuff, it's been crazy. Like, there's been so much that's going on, and there's been a lot of, like, back and forth in the community as well, where the community is like, Jujutsu Kaisen is just trash right now, or Jujutsu Kaisen is amazing right now, it's the best it's ever been. You have those that are down the middle, and then you have those that say the anime is very bad, and then those that say the anime is really good, and it's perfection, there's nothing wrong with it, all these different type of things. And then you have, like, the Mappa stands that want to defend, Mappa no matter what, they'll die on a mountain or a hill, so to speak, to say that, Mappa is always making the greatest anime, and technically they do make a lot of good anime, but it's really the staff that is just, dying at their desks just to be able to produce it, and you have people defending all these practices, and when you have those that say that you should never watch Jujutsu Kaisen because of what's happening with the staff, there's a lot that's been happening in the community. And so let's talk about this. So this is Nakamura, a very well-known industry veteran within the anime space. Like, someone that has worked on countless stuff here. I'll show you. This is Nakamura. You can see their link to their, handle here on Twitter, which, once again, you can cross-check right here. You can pause the video. It's the same person. And they have worked on a lot. Like, a lot of banger anime. I mean, hell, this individual even worked on the original SAO. And, yes, I know SAO is hated, but you're not going to tell me in the days when SAO came out, the art animation was insane for its time period. And love it or hate it, SAO did define a decade of anime in terms of just, like, bringing more, I guess you were transported to another world or transported into a game type stories to more people. I mean, that could be a good or bad thing depending on your perspective. But the point is that, this individual Nakamura has worked on countless classics, to, Chihafuru, to, also work on all these other different series. Like, you just look, The Ancient Magus Bride, you have Maggie here, you have, like, Overlord Season 2, 3, and 4, there's quite a few things that this individual's worked on, so you can see that Nakamura's worked on quite a bit. That's why I wanted to establish that first before I went any further, to establish that this individual is an industry veteran. So speaking out about this is definitely important. There is a lot of weight to this post that they're making, because they're putting themselves at risk to post this publicly for everyone to see. It basically says that they're willing to burn bridges, they're willing to just never be able to work in certain projects ever again, and potentially be blacklisted from certain things for even speaking out like this. But they're doing it to better the entirety of the industry as a whole, and also to say that this is not okay. So, to be honest, there's something about Mappa that I don't want to work with. I still can't forget the time in certain sports anime where the pre-production fee for the sports scenes was 1,500 yen. It wasn't originally planned to be done, but they had just thrown in the material and didn't negotiate the unit price. It would have been 1,000 yen. Now, this series that I'm assuming Nakamura is talking about is actually something that he worked on. If you scroll down here, he worked on Yuri on Ice, which as an animation director for episode 3, and as a reminder, here's Yuri on Ice. It was made by Studio Mappa. It was an anime original that aired back in 2016. It has since gone on to have like a side story, it's had, different things that's come out for it, like, as you can see here, like, there's still a movie technically being made for it. It is not aired yet, but there's things that has been in production for Yuri on Ice, and it was definitely something that was popular for Studio Mappa when it aired. And I know many people kind of were not interested in it, but there was a huge niche group that did enjoy it. Kind of similar to Bocchi the Rock and how it kind of swept around the community for a while. Yuri on Ice was kind of doing the exact same thing around its time. Maybe not to the same degree as Bocchi, but it still was pretty successful for Studio Mappa at the time. So I'm assuming Nakamura is talking about that series. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming he's talking about, just underpay, etc., and that negotiation price, and just how animators continuously get underpaid and, their job filled. And they have, hours that they literally are overworking themselves, but they barely get paid to, like a livable wage. You can see him kind of talking about this. He talks about how, like, people weren't trained well, how it drops motivation in the workplace. He pretty much is giving us an insight into just how everything is inside the company, at least when he was working on projects there and all that. And if we go a little bit further as well, we look at this individual here is another animator that spoke up around the exact same time. And this is another animator. I'm going to pull them up. Now, this is all that's on Anime News Network, but they've worked on quite a few other things besides this. They've had fan animations of Attack on Titan and stuff. Like, this individual is also another huge one. I don't know why his whole list of what he's worked on isn't here, but clearly he works on projects from Studio Mappa. But, this is what he says. The worst thing is when all the staff work hard to complete a schedule that would normally be impossible to meet in time, and the people above them look at the results and think, I can't say anything, and fail to make improvements. I guess the cycle started when I completed the movie in 4 months. Now, what is Hon saying here? What is this animator trying to clarify about a movie completed in 4 months? Well, if you don't know, this movie that this individual is talking about is actually Jujutsu Kaisen 0. There's actually a Reddit post someone made that talks about this actually right here, that said, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 movie earned 200 million worldwide despite only 4 months to create. So basically what is being stated here is that, something that shouldn't have been possible was made possible. For instance, the animators, the staff, and everybody got together. They literally pumped out Jujutsu Kaisen 0, a great movie that a lot of people love, in 4 months. They finished that entirety of that movie in 4 months. And obviously that's not normal, that's not okay. It shouldn't have been possible, but they did it. And so now that they did that, the producers, the higher-ups now see it like, oh, so if you can do that, that means you could do this even better with other projects. So they think that's kind of normal. So it's kind of like that saying when you're in a workplace, you don't go the extra mile. Like, if you're getting paid minimum wage, so to speak, you don't work over that. For instance, you're not paid enough to, go the extra mile. You're paid minimum wage. You shouldn't, try to do things to make it, even better for your employer, make it easier on them. You're just there for basically a paycheck. And if you try to go out of your way to do things very quick or faster, then that's what the normal will be. That's what the head honchos will think that needs to be normal, is that, oh, if you can do this, project in, a day, but normally it used to take a week, obviously we want to do the one day. We want to grind the time down to just a one day thing. So that's the point here of why the overall schedule and production of Studio Mappa and probably a lot of different animation studios has just become atrocious as of late, is because of this. Is because the animators continuously push themselves to do what they can to get things done. But in turn, it creates a cycle to where it's like, oh, if you could do this, that means you could keep doing it. And so that is where everything kind of came into play. So yeah, this is some really interesting insight, honestly, kind of talking about where it might have began and how it got worse within Mappa with the Jujutsu Kaisen movie. So yeah, it's fun facts a little there about that and all that. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this. There's a lot that's been going on in the Jujutsu Kaisen community, and I wanted to kind of talk about the current state of it, and just overall how the anime is doing that. Once again, more animators are talking about the subject of just how the show is. Obviously, the latest episode that came out, which, you see people kind of memeing on now, was something that was given more time than the other episodes, which clearly shows because of how good it was. But once again, this goes back to the discussion that these other posts are making, is that, imagine if that same amount of time and effort was given to all the episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen instead of just, the one that aired this past week. So yeah, food for thought there, but I want to talk about it. What's your thoughts on the current state of Jujutsu Kaisen? Do you think that the memes are overblown and that the memes are kind of like annoying at this point? Do you agree with the current state of the manga? Do you think it's good or bad? How do you feel about the anime? Let me know in the comments below. I'm legitimately curious, but leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.